I just want to convey to the governor my deepest appreciation for this letter. And I think he should know it, that I appreciate it. I served in the military. I lived in foreign countries. And even when I take vacations across the waters and I come back, the first thing I do is I want to kiss the ground, because this is a great country. But when you study this history and you're so close to it, you recognize that the two most dangerous things in the world is sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. They're very dangerous. Conscientious stupidity is very dangerous. And in this position as superintendent, what you try to do is you try to connect people to parks. And you know, national parks receive record number of visitors every year. But what they don't get is a large segment of society that are brown and black and underserved into those spaces in large numbers. And ever since I arrived here, that's all I've been aiming at, is that underserved community. To remind them that if they just walk out their back door, they have these resources available to them. And what makes this nation so great is that, you know, as an agent of this service, I protect some of the most amazing resources around the nation. And they're designed for everyone to participate. And some places we protect are actually very, very difficult to talk about. And I honor that because they're relevant to that space. Fort Monroe is a really unique space. It has all kinds of themes that run back and forth. Some of them good, some of them murky, some of them are very amazing when you start telling those stories. And what I discovered is, through the 27 years, I've always aimed at talking to black and brown people, but what ends up happening is I end up talking to a lot of white folks too. And there are quite a few of them that are just as disgusted about some of our history as I am. In some circles I run into, they blame white people for everything, and that's just not the case. There are some people who do not look like me that stand up for what's right sometimes. And the only reason why I want to speak up today is because the nation is great because we're trying to recognize history the way it's supposed to be told. And you get a lot of credit for that. Sometimes people don't pat you on the back for doing something bold. But what the governor did today is really bold. Because he has to know that fire is going to come his way. And anyone who stands up here today and speak out against this is going to get a little flavor too. So this is really honorable to see this. It's really growth for this nation. Sometimes change starts in a small little place called Fort Monroe, and maybe we can change other states. So kudos to this state. I was thinking about my contributions in writing the narrative for the Jefferson Memorial. I was all on board until last night. I was thinking, I can't do that unless this board owns it too. This board has to vote and say, we don't want it there. Otherwise, it's just the FMA staff, the MPS staff writing a narrative, and we won't win in that argument because, one, if you don't put a sign up, people are going to say, why you don't have a sign? You put a sign up, then they're going to say, well, you still have a memorial. I don't know which one is more insulting. So this is a great nation. It's great because it's not that we're just talking about Africans in the 400th year. It's a great nation because some of you have come out from behind your desk and said, we need to honor these people, we need to honor this moment, and I salute you for that, even though this is hard. Even though it's hard. And I think Jefferson Davis needs to be talked about. He is relevant, he is important, in terms of history. He's just not relevant at that space over there. So I'm going to close with that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for your comments, Mr. Superintendent. Any further comment? Being no further comment, all those in favor of being in receipt of the letter from the governor will say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes unanimously that the authority, please report to the governor that the authority is officially in receipt of his letter and appreciative of his input. Thank you, Mr. Mercer.